Hi, Miss Payne's class. We're going to continue reading our book. We left off with it's the next day and they're reading the article in the newspaper. Listen to this. One outstanding member of the Spalding team is Melody Brooks, an 11-year-old who has been diagnosed with cerebral palsy. In spite of her physical challenges, Melody's quick and capable mental abilities were able to shine as she led her team to victory. They will hate me, I type glumly. Butterscotch, who still sleeps in my room, nuzzles my hand. She always seems to know how I feel, but it doesn't help this time. Oh, don't exaggerate. I think it's a lovely article, and your friends should be proud. You don't get it. Mom ignores me and proceeds to get me ready for school. 2 blue t-shirts, one to wear and one to pack, just in case. 2 pairs of pants. She never picks out jeans. I decide not to argue. I have a feeling it is going to be not going to be a good day. What a great photo of you. I'm going to make sure I get extra copies of the paper, she chatters cheerfully as she tugs on my socks before putting on my sneakers. I've got to make sure everybody at work sees this. Dad has finished dressing Penny, so he brings her into my room. When Penny notices my picture in the paper, she drops Doodle and shouts, "Dee Dee!" She picks up the paper and kisses it. I bet I won't get many reactions like that at school today. Dad leans over and gives me a kiss on the cheek. I'm so proud I could pop, he says softly. I love you, Melody. That makes me get all teary. Just once I wish I could hug my little sister or tell my dad I love him too. In real words, not through a machine. The reaction at school today is just what I expected. Words float out of lips that say nice things to me, but eyes tell the truth. The eyes are cold, as if I had beat the reporter over the head and forced her to print that picture of me. Even Rose acts distant. Nice picture of you in the paper, Melody, she says. Thanks. Should have been all of us. I think so too, Rose replies. I just sigh. I can't do anything right. I don't want to be all that. I just want to be like everybody else. When we get to Mr. Deming's class, he strides in wearing another brand new suit. There must have been a 2-for-1 sale. And a brand new smile. He looks like he might explode with happiness. He carries a stack of the morning newspaper with him. I didn't sleep at all last night, he admits to us. I am just so very proud of our team and our school. He pauses while the class cheers for the quiz team. Rose, Molly, and Claire smile happily. Connor and Rodney take bows. A few kids even turn around and look at me with a smile. Do we get free pizza or something? Connor blurts out. Absolutely, Mr. Deming replies. The principal has declared that next Friday is quiz team day, and the entire school is getting treated to free pizzas and sodas. More cheers from the class. Connor looks really pleased. Mr. Deming continues, and I want to give a special shout out to Melody, who really helped us secure our victory. Let's give her a special round of applause. He begins the clapping and the class joins in, but it seems more polite than sincere. I guess I'm not as cool as free pizza. Who saw the 11 o'clock news last night? Mr. Deming asked, still beaming. About half the kids raised their hands. I had missed it. I had fallen asleep exhausted after we got home. I taped it and TiVoed it and put it on my MySpace, he tells us excitedly. But now we must get back to regular class activities. He sounds disappointed. But how do we get ready for Washington? Rose asks, obviously not ready to let him do that. Teachers are so easily distracted. I knew he'd bite on that one. Mr. Deming smiles again and takes a deep breath. We only have 2 weeks to get ready, Rose. I've prepared a packet for each of my team champs, he says as he passes out the paperwork. Take this home and bring it back tomorrow without fail. In it, I've included information about how to redeem the free plane tickets and info about our hotel and schedules for the days we are in D.C. It also gives details about our practice schedule, which begins today. We will meet every day after school and half a day on Saturday. Saturday? Connor asked, disbelief in his voice. I'm worried about that too. A whole half day? If Catherine can't come, how will I get to the bathroom or eat? I'll bring bagels for breakfast, fruit for snacks, and we'll order in burgers for lunch, Mr. Deming tells him. Sounds sort of healthy, Connor responds with a grin, but I'll be there. You skip a practice and you get bounced to the alternates, Connor. I'm in this to win. Why don't you take a couple of days off, my man? Rodney says to Connor. I'd be glad to take your place. Slide you right out in a blink. He sounds serious. No way, man. I'll show, Connor says hurriedly. Molly raises her hand. Mr. Deming, do the alternates go to Washington also? Absolutely. So should I buy a new dress just in case I get to be on the team? That's up to you, Molly, the teacher replies. Claire raises her hand then. Mr. D, I think I know what Molly is getting at. Since there are 6 people on the DC team instead of 4, which of the alternates will you choose? We will use a point system, he replies. The students with the 6 highest scores from all of our preliminary rounds will take the final TV team. Sounds fair. Claire looked satisfied at that, and she and Molly high-fived each other. Mr. Deming finally gets back to regular classwork, the study of Spain and Portugal, and I do my best to do nothing to call attention to myself. No weird noises or kicks or grunts for the rest of the class. No answers to questions I know. I just sit in the back of the room with Catherine and hope the morning will pass quickly. I spend the afternoon in room H5, where we watch Tom and Jerry cartoons for 3 hours. Can you believe it? After school, Catherine feeds me a pudding cup and some juice just before it's time to go to Mr. Deming's room for our first practice. She frowns as I finish my last sip of juice. "What's bugging you, Melody?" she asks. "You should be on top of the world, but you're acting like somebody just popped you in the nose." "They don't want me on the team," I type. "That's ridiculous. You were the star last night." "That's the problem. Without you, they would not have won. They're scared of me," I try to explain. "They think I look funny." "You never let that bother you before," she counters. It's hard to put my feelings into words that will come out like right on my talker. I know the other kids are uncomfortable with me on the team. There's no other way to put it. My presence was cute at first, maybe okay for a local competition, but for the big game on national television, that's different. I'll make them stand out, and not in a good way. I start typing again. I make them look, I hesitate, then type in weird. "You're the smartest person on the team," Catherine exclaims. I drool. "So pack a box of tissues." I make funny noises. "And Connor farts sometimes." I have to smile at that. "No more of this feeling sorry for yourself, young lady. Let's get down to Mr. D's room and kick some butt." "Okay, let's go," I type. We roll down to the room and I hold my head high. Well, at least as high as I can when it isn't wobbling around. Nobody says anything more about the newspaper article, and practice goes on as usual. I answer most of the questions correctly, and by the time Mom picks me up, I feel a little bit better. But I do notice Rose and Claire and Molly whispering together as I leave. It could be about a new music video or a shopping trip to the mall, or it could be about me. How can they expect us to get ready in such a short time? Crazy. Plane tickets and permission slips, paperwork, and practice. Practice every day for close to 2 weeks. Study every evening with Mrs. V. Words, cities, states, countries, capitals, oceans, rivers, colors, diseases, weather, numbers, dates, animals, kings, queens, birds, insects, wars, presidents, planets, authors, generals, laws, quotations, measurements, equations, definitions. My head has been spinning nonstop with facts and figures, but I'm ready now. Our team is ready. Mr. D kept his promise. The 6 highest scorers from all of our practice rounds were announced at the last practice session a few days ago. Of course, just like the other kids, I had been keeping a mental tally of everybody's points, so I was pretty sure I'd be on the on-air I'd be one of the on-air contestants, not an alternate. Mr. Deming almost glowed with anticipation as he made the announcement. He paced nervously, a little more, and the man would be dancing. "Here we go," he said. "I feel like I need a drum roll or something." "Read the list, please," Connor shouts impatiently. Mr. Deming said slowly. "The 6 members of the championship Spalding Street Elementary School quiz team are..." He paused. I thought Connor was going to throw something at him. "Rose, Connor, Melody, Elena, Rodney, and Molly. Claire and Amanda will be our alternates." "I'm an alternate?" Claire gasped. "Molly beat you by 2 points, Claire," Mr. D explained, "but you still get to come with us and cheer us on and tour the city." "But it was me who helped her study," Claire said, outrage in her voice. "That is so not fair." I just shook my head and smiled a little. There is so much Claire doesn't know about stuff not being fair. Alrighty, guys, we're going to stop there and we'll keep going next time. See ya.